The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of Power Trading Hour. Hopefully everybody can hear me. What else do we have here? Yeah, I updated my machine last night. And you know what? It reset. For some reason, it decides that it has to reset everything to one of these monitors instead of my normal sound system and change everything else. But I'm just going to assume that everybody can hear me. I don't see any messages in the den or from the control office. But we shall persevere. Anyway, as always, it doesn't matter where you're at as long as you're here at the prescribed time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And what do we have? Well, we're up 50 points. Took a couple of times to push higher earlier in the day. We retraced back to close to unchanged twice and then moved higher. As I've said many times before, just because you bounce does not mean you're in the end of a bear market or even a bear leg has stopped. Even in downturns, you're going to be going up about 3/4 of the time. So generally, if you're a trader, the thing is to take your money and run when you get the opportunity. Let's see. Okay, I still don't have any updates, so I'm going to assume I'm on the air. But we got a lot of earnings, and we're going to go through those through the rest of the hour. Okay, so first of all, is it still short the rips and cover the dips? I think so. Loud and clear. Okay, thanks. Short the rips and cover the dips until we make some kind of low where I see people tossing themselves out of tall buildings. The answer is yes. You almost always get some level of a decent, if not extreme, what do I want to say, extreme capitulation. And let me go here and move this around. And I just don't feel anything that I got that. I would have liked to seen maybe a lot lower trend last couple of days in the Amex anyway, with most of the ETFs. Yesterday 1.07, the day before at 88, the day before that at 0.5. So we kind of came into a short-term low. Now we've got fund buying. Ideally, that fund buying would start on Friday. It rarely does. Most folks decide on Wall Street not to put that cash to work before a weekend. But it doesn't mean that they don't mark up the market. So people in the 401ks putting their money to work get the absolute highest price, especially in a down market. It makes it easy to sell. I remember a lot of people in the early 2000s got in a lot of trouble in that they would pop the price, sell the 401k to themselves at some kind of investment house, and then, of course, the market would return. But they were able to fleece a lot of folks at the open and the close with these kind of stunts. So a lot of them got fined. A couple of them went to jail, but yeah, I have to say probably it's not that much. Anyway, we've had higher volume. It was kind of just slightly lower yesterday with about 12.7 billion shares compared to the day before at 13.2 billion. So are we blowing out these lows with 18 billion shares? No. But it isn't declining. It is close. But we're going to have a big volume day. It's probably going to be on some kind of turnaround day. It's not going to close at the lows. And that's 80% of the time. Nothing works 100% of the time in the market. If anybody tells you that, I would amscray Attenlay at your earliest possible convenience, because they know not what they talk about. Anyway, looking at some of these things, I just don't see a great deal out here that is pointed to any kind of low that we've had before, even in bear markets. And like I said, could we rally the first couple of days into May? It's possible. My worry is Thursday night, and that is Apple. They've had a great deal of their assembly lines closed down, and what they say about that is probably far more important than what they report. But we shall see. It's kind of like some of these earnings. They changed things, had price increases, but it was far too late in the quarter to have any effect. But people are kind of acting on CNBC like it should have had an effect. I don't think they're that stupid, so I just figure they're frauds or shills. But I do digress. 877-927-6648. And what else do we have here? Let's do this. Let's do a little bit of history, and then we'll get right into charts, because we have a lot. I'm going to go through earnings last night and this morning, see the reactions to those. Then if we have time, we're going to get into the ones, or at least we're going to talk about what's out after the bell tonight and tomorrow. And then, of course, tomorrow night, as I said, the one that could really put a hitch in your get-along, as I think my uncle used to say, was Apple, and especially on that production line. Microsoft really doesn't depend on China that much. They have most of their manufacturing is offshore. Some of the other semiconductors that did well, and we'll look at them last night, manufacturing in Malaysia, and shutting down those assembly lines when you make 5-10 million iPhones in a week is always problematic, because you never get that time back. They can probably get another 50 million assembly line folks to get back in the queue, but probably not enough a place to set up to actually assemble iPhones to do that. And it really doesn't matter, because they're kind of a one-trick pony. There isn't a whole lot else for them. And of course, I'm going to say that from looking at what they have on their streaming service, that ain't going to make them a lot of money either. But we shall look at it. Oh, I forgot. We got to do history for the break.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1981, Xerox introduces the Xerox 8010 Star Information System, first commercial system using a computer mouse, among other now commonplace technologies, including menus and the like. Exactly what we use now every day. It was geared toward business, was not a commercial success. And of course, Steve Jobs wandered over, saw a very early version of it, and ate his Lisa in the Mac. We'll be back after.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
It wasn't Apple people so much as Steve Jobs. He went over there and talked to those folks in late 1979 and then claimed that he invented it all. Got an economy with the truth a bit. And of course, the mouse and all that stuff was actually invented in 1968. There's video on it, and there was a bunch of lawsuits, and the guy that actually had the patent on it ended up cleaning up. But it took a little while. And again, Steve Jobs, kind of an economy with a lot of truth out there. As they call it now, post-truth. Anyway, first question is, well, he actually said, he's got a famous quote. He said something about talented people invent, great people steal. I think that he said for ideas. Great people have ideas. Even bigger people steal them. And that was it. So anyway, Microsoft question, can it hold? You bounced today. You don't have a ton of volume. You were down on 29 million shares a handful of days ago. You got 49. Resistance is at 295. I don't think there's a lot here. I think the rest of the market will be a drag on this one. I think you probably, once you get this dip, and it may be as low as 292, you may only have that for a short amount of time, then probably going to come back and test 270-ish. Maybe it's like last month where you get one day into fund buying on Monday, and then it gives it all up again, which is what happened last time. Yeah, the old honest, I borrowed all those ideas I saw. But I do digress. Anyway, Microsoft Energy was about the same way, up on the way down. It's a little bit better than most stocks out there in the fact that at least this one was kind of the same on the way up and way down. Apple still has yet to test its low at 150. That's what I suspect, even though we're getting a little bounce out of here, that we're going to see on Thursday night, 150-ish. Energy was a little bit down. What I'm hoping is that everybody sells it off on Thursday night, and you get the opportunity to have a lot of people toss out the baby with the bathwater, and then maybe either at the open on Friday or a little later, we start getting the run and the markup into fund buying. It's hard to say. I did look at options right before the show and wanted to look at them. The option market makers believe there's a 90% belief that 4,100 on the S&Ps or around there is the 90% confidence level on the market not going any lower than that. Rarely is it so great that you see 100% confidence level, but I do at 4,000. So they are pretty much sure that 4,100 is kind of the low into May 20th, but it could go as low as 4,000. I'm wondering if it isn't some kind of giant washout we finally get. Maybe it takes into next week to get it, but I don't believe that there's any kind of low out here already. Question about Metamucil, otherwise known as Fascist Book. No. There was a false story that leaked out. And you see this from time to time in the newspaper where somebody that's probably on their deathbed but still going to last another couple of weeks, and they accidentally fire off the story that says these folks are dead. It's always nice to read your obituary before you actually do croak. Anyway, they had some kind of filler story that they have ready for tonight's earnings, and that's why this thing kind of moved quite viciously throughout the day when it was a little higher and sold off. I can't see anything that gets better for these guys in the near term. There's nobody that's going to be an honest broker and talk to these guys and tell them to quit doubling down. The other on stupid, by the way. There's another thing that people should also know, and that is that when Facebook went public, and now I guess it's Metamucil. You got to have a lot of fiber. Anyway, one of the things that they did was set it up so that there's no way that you can fire Mark Zuckerberg unless he wants to leave. He will always have 51% of the voting shares. Doesn't matter if he kills somebody. Doesn't matter if he commits genocide and he's in jail. You cannot remove Mark Zuckerberg from the CEO position. There's some people thinking that if he did commit murder, that you could get a judge to supplant it, but there's not a lot of law about doing that. This is one of the few public companies that is run like a private company, and I don't see a lot going on inside that. You are cooking Shiva. I don't know what that is. Anyway, don't think that there's a lot going on in Facebook. It continues to go down. I don't see anything that actually says anything about a particular low out here. And no, I'm going into earnings. This thing's already been on a tear down. I don't think you're probably going to pick up much in options. Yes, good artists borrow, great artists steal. That's what Steve Jobs said. But anyway, or parroted back then. And I think he actually said it in the court case, which is one of the reasons why they kind of pushed him off to the side in late 1984. Okay, so we're going to go to, do I have anything else? We're going to go to earnings and see the reaction. We've got okay volume. It's not that bad, but it's not that good either. Okay. ADP opened a little higher, continued to move. You got about half the volume you had yesterday. 2.2 million shares for yesterday. Today, about 1.3. So better than being down, but not a whole lot better. You've seen Boeing get hammered. Supply constraints continue to weigh on the company. They were at support levels and actually going into earnings tested the previous low of 14 million shares with 9 million shares. But I'm not one to jump up and down on that. There were a bunch of gaps. You kind of ran through one of them today. But 146 as the low. You got a ton of volume. So even if you bounce, you probably need to retest the 146. I don't know. When we get back, we got a lot more of earnings to take a look at, and then earnings for the night and tomorrow.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN has just launched their new trading room, the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. And now they are expanding their reach with the Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. In the Tiger's Den, you can look over the shoulders of Tom O'Brien and the other TFNN hosts while they analyze charts during their live Tiger TV programs, and join an interactive trading community with hundreds of members exchanging ideas. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day, even at night and on the weekends. The Tiger's Den at Discord is accessible on mobile or tablets as well, so it's always at your reach. To sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders, just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Well, we were talking about Facebook. One of the things that came out was an article that I think it was from Bloomberg, which was one of those placeholders. So I think everybody's a little spooked. I don't know anything right now that I'd want to touch it. You don't know what's true, what's not. Is the article true? Not. I have no idea. And I'm on the air, so I don't have that kind of time to fish it out, but I don't think anybody could anyway. It's one of those things happen. I remember there was once, Tom O'Brien's talking in the den too. There was once where a guy actually faxed a false press release and cleaned up. He had shorted the stock, and the thing went from like 90 to $10. And of course, it was easy to find the guy. But I forget it was kind of like a 3Com stock. They made they made Ethernet connectors and systems. And the stock never, ever recovered. Everybody always thought that there was something wrong with it. Never could figure it out. And, of course, we went into the 2000.com high, and I don't know if they got bought out or they got something else. But even when it's not true, doesn't mean that it's going to come back the way it was. So I kind of tend to stay away from them. Can't remember the name of the company at the time. Anyway, we're going to go through the rest of these out here. Yeah, there's you always get in these kind of fast markets, you get things on there. Anyway, Metamucil, I don't see much going on. Boeing Company, as we said, retest of the lows. Bungie came out up a little bit, but just to the resistance on the 3x3 line. So you don't have much in there. Volume's okay. That's kind of in the industrial sector out here. Just a spinning top on Boston Scientific. Boyd Gaming looked a little bit better after hours last night, a little lower out here today, but not busting through support. We also have the Chubb. It's back above the 3x3 volumes, about what it was last few weeks. It's not that much better or worse. As an insurance company, generally, they put a lot of their cash in investments, and not kind of Kathy Woods kind of things, and more benign investments. But a declining market doesn't really make it any much better for them. CMG Chipotle was much better, I think, after hours last night. You've got a big kind of dragonfly doji out here today on it. I don't know if that means a lot. This is the one that I was talking about. A lot of people were going, they raised rates and nothing happened. Well, they raised rates, whatever it was, after right at when the quarter closed. So I'm thinking these talking heads on CNBC, I ought to be able to go on there and make that kind of money, whatever they give them for doing that. And I'd actually research to find out when they raised their prices and whether or not it should have hit the quarter at any kind of level. I'm thinking that this probably is fairly close to a level where they're going to start distributing the stock. It's hard to really see this thing getting that much more valuable. So I'm not surprised they had the normal shills, the usual suspects out there pumping this, but it's got that kind of smell of the shills around it a bit. So I would watch it. I would still want to see some kind of drive higher to short it, like maybe to 1550, and then have a lot of light volume. Maybe you get that during fund buying next week. Maybe they mark it up on no volume. Capital One is back through the previous low, not holding it, but certainly you're going to have more volume, so that's not good. Energy on the way down was fairly brisk, about the same as it has been on the way up. So probably the best thing you can hope for is some kind of trading range. It's run right back up into a double gap, the gap down from this morning and a gap that goes back to the 9th of March with 3 million shares. So you don't have a lot of running room where this runs right back into it. On the winner chicken dinner side of it is in phase. I think it was up a little bit more after hours last night. It is back above the 3x3. It does have some decent volume. And, of course, these folks make energy systems for taking AC and DC and converting it for cars and other things. But if you're talking about big things like cars, trucks, all being run by batteries. In phase is the place to be. Decent volume, probably a best house in a cracked neighborhood at the moment, though, and I'd probably wait for the gentrification of the rest of the market before I jump on too hard on this, because probably maybe it holds up, but probably that's the best you can hope for, probably at least. 877-927-6648, and you can do that. Okay, what else? FFIV. F5 Networks. Well, it did something that I can't say on the air. And we will give this one of the several news reports today. Not much that.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
As we return, Jack asks if I've turned bullish yet. The answer, of course, is no. To actually have a low, we want to test that 4,100 on lighter volume. We also want to see some real despair And I still see everybody on TV, many people that I talk to trying to buy lows. Generally, a good low is so bad that you almost throw up a little bit in your mouth when you think about buying it. When it gets to that level, let me know. But you're going to have bounces. Most people, like I said, over the last few weeks, have never been in a real. It started trading maybe in 2008, but probably I'd say 80% of the retail traders started after 2012, and all they understand is a manipulated market by the Fed. I think we're going back. A lot of the stuff that worked for a whole lot of time, I'm talking hundreds of years, is probably going to change. And one of those things is you cover your short positions when there's complete demoralization. And I haven't seen any of that yet. Doesn't mean that we can't bounce a little bit longer. Only means that I'm waiting for even a better position to reshort the market. If we get a little higher, I'm just going to look at it as a gift. At the moment, I don't see a whole lot for a possible 100 points down that I want to go after. But I'm thinking that if we're looking for the big move, it's probably on Apple's earnings at 4:30 tomorrow night. What else do we have? General Motors talked a little bit about their problems. Man, was everybody trying to talk this thing up in the morning. You're basically on an inside day of yesterday's move. I don't think that there's a lot there to be had. Volume right now is about 14 million shares. But again, I'm not expecting these guys go a great deal higher. And interest rates will cause less car sales out there. Hess, the gasoline giant, just sideways on their earnings. Hog, again, anything gasoline powered is going to be problematic. We had, thanks to Fletch and the Den for pointing out again that the administration decided to pull the plug on any domestic gas production, this time in Alaska, kind of putting the nail in the coffin of any kind of cheaper gas prices. So anything that burns gas, anything that's probably discretionary, airplanes, cars, fast cars, motorcycles, anything like that is kind of the first thing before the houses, before they start seeing those go back to the receivership. So those are always the first ones to kind of go and slow down. But you're back into what was a gap up, and I'm going to say about 9.6 million shares. Caught a lot of people sleeping back here in the first week of February. That was still kind of the heart of the pandemic. People were buying them for things to do. My guess is when everybody can go back to doing what they did before, there are going to be a lot of those extra Harleys on the market. Same thing with planes and boats, which I'm looking at buying over the next year when all these things become on sale. What else do we have out here? Okay. Humana. Got a nice bounce. Very much. Maybe end up with a dragonfly by the end of the day. Not a lot of volume. But again, you didn't break back above the downtrend yet. Just a bounce in the downtrend. Juniper Networks, another one in the semiconductor space. This trying to make some kind of low out here. The downside is you got too much volume for the last low from February 24th. If you go to the gap higher, though, you had 9 million shares back on the 28th of January. So, yeah. Could you be making something out? Yeah, you'd really like to see that volume about half what it is today, which connotes that maybe you're not going to blow through the lows, but at the same time, you're probably going to need some level of consolidation before you go higher. Mondelez, this one was rocking the Casbah after the after earnings last night. Not so much today. About half the volume on an inside day onto yesterday's. Microsoft, This is, as we talked about, finding some kind of low. Everybody wasn't that happy. I think the best thing they said was our manufacturing isn't in China for our hardware, although I think only about 15% of their business or even 10% of it has to do with laptops and all the other stuff that they build. But they still do a great business in laptops for any other company that isn't Microsoft's size. And, of course, the big news is that they continue to do extremely well in the cloud business, which they continue to gobble up more and more of. NCR, another one that's going to get the loser horn of the day. And, this is rolling snake eyes after snake eyes after snake eyes on this one. Right back to the gap. That gap was on December 1st of 2020. And let's go back and look at it here, make sure. About 2 million shares. And you got 8 million shares. So even that gap has been blown through. You got a lot of gaps down to 22. I didn't read anything about it. Don't know much about it. On the winner chicken dinner side of things, Skechers is still selling tennis shoes. I think their earnings were actually better than what I see here in the charts, at least my impression was. But you weren't able to break through it again. I think a lot of these things are bounces in a downtrend. I don't think until you test that 4,100, I want to be long much of anything. Maybe gold, but that's about it. And even gold has been kind of on the downside, but it generally is when the market goes down, everything kind of gets sold for the first week or so. What is gold at right now? It's down $16. So, yeah, you're probably somewhere in the next couple of days. Maybe you find gold, find some kind of decent low. Skechers in the way. Sales were good, but still just a great house in a cracked neighborhood until the markets actually give us the go-ahead and the all clear with a test of the previous low on lighter volume, which you do not have. Other things out there, slab in the semiconductor business. Actually, a lot of people short this thing, so it's up a little better than others. It did test the previous low on a little lighter volume. The 130 low from March 14th got into it April 25th with 400,000 shares, so about 25% lighter, popped above that. But the energy from the March 29th high, far too much to me. I think a lot of these are just going to come back and retest these lows, even though they may be the best house in the bag. Back in a minute.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the opening call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we get ready to close out another day, got a lot of earnings out after the bell tonight. Let me see, dig those up real quick. After the bell tonight, we've got Ford, Facebook, Qualcomm, which actually is looked fairly good to me lately, but I haven't looked at it today. MOH, PayPal, Amgen. Is it Aflac, Discovery, ORLY in the automotive sector? I'm going to watch that one closely. URI, which will tell you how much is actually shovel-ready business from the government. Las Vegas Sands, Align Technology for those invisible braces. Plexus, Mattel, Cake, your Cheesecake Factory. What do we have? Save in the airline business. T-Doc. Got a couple of gold stocks after the bell tonight. I don't know if earnings actually does much to them. Pinterest and Netgear. Tomorrow morning, Merck, Caterpillar, Sony, TMO, NOC, Lilly, Nokia, MO, MCD, and somebody in the den said that there was a false story on McDonald's too. So you may want to take a look at that. We've got MasterCard also after Visa. Maybe that's already got it baked in though, because they're generally not that different from each other. Hershey's, Love, so another airline tomorrow. Give you a little idea. Twitter, Domino's, I think that's kind of the highlights of there. And, of course, tomorrow night at 4:30, we've got Apple, so you want to take a look at that. Quick question about whether or not a double repo is setting up in the UNG. Yes, but do not anticipate it. You need a close back below the 3x3. But, yeah, a very good-looking double repo possible, but not confirmed. Do anything on this one, probably unless you want to get that conference. We'll be back tomorrow, same bat channel with Tim Orr.